I'm going to talk more about dot plot. It's a graphical representation of given information. That information must be a quantitative information, not categorical information. It's a quantitative information. Quantitative information means maybe the class marks after a test, or the pocket money, weekly pocket money of the students in a class. We are going to see what is the meaning of what is the meaning of dot plot and how to draw it. This is a very easy tool and also very powerful. Okay, so what is a dot plot? A dot plot is a graph that shows the distribution of a quantitative variable above a number line. We are going to use a number line with small periods, dots, circles, and like we can make any symbols like this. It plots a quantitative variables against a quantitative variable. Axis of on a dot plot. A dot plot only has x-axis. The y-axis is, we never draw the y-axis. Only like a number line we draw. And the scale along the x-axis will be the minimum to the maximum. That means the spread of the data. Advantage of a dot plot. Moderate amounts of quantitative data can be quickly visualized and analyzed. It's not used for the very high end. It's only for a small number of items, maybe maximum 25 items, 30 items, or sometimes we can go to 50 items also. Not very large items. It's only a moderate amounts of quantitative data that is easily we can see and the visual, and from the visual we can analyze the property of the data. So what is a dot plot? So two variables on a dot plot. X-axis is a variable in a quantitative and identified because we are exactly pinpointing the value along the x-axis. But y-axis variable is implied because we never draw the y-axis. Y-axis is, we cannot see it at all. But along the y-axis, we are just counting only how many ones are there, how many twos are there, how many students got 40 marks in a classroom, how many students got 70 marks in a test. This only counting. Counting means is normally discrete quantitative. Discrete means 1, 2, 3. There's a real jump between, no decimals. This is called a count. Discrete quantitative data. But x-axis may not be discrete. It may be discrete, it may be continuous also. Nothing wrong in it. Okay, some important vocabulary we must know about this. Spread. We also call the variability. The spread of a data is the smallest value and the largest value. Always it's expressed in two numbers, smallest value and the largest value. Prefer to write smallest than the largest number. Units are very important here. Range. The difference between the smallest value and the largest value is called the range. Take the spread and subtract the two numbers large minus small. You get the range. Here also units are important. Some more vocabulary. One measure of center. Median is one of the measure of the center. It is exactly in the middle. Half of the data below that median and half of the data is above the median. Here also unit is important. Mode. The mode of a data is a place or places with the largest number of data with the same value. That means which number is repeating most of the time. The numbers repeating most of the time is called the mode. How to describe a dot plot? The shape of a data distribution possibilities. What are the possible distributions? Symmetry. Symmetric also we call fairly symmetrical. Sometimes we call skewed left. That means negatively skewed. Sometimes we call skewed right, positively skewed. These are the possibility of distribution, the shape of the possibilities. Peaks. Single peak, there's only one model, only one mode. There may be bimodal, two peak multi-peak, multimodal, but data have modes, dot plots have peaks. When your data have more modes, then the dot plots will have more peaks. Okay, student scores in mathematics class test is an example here. The minimum mark is 56, the maximum mark is 95. There are 20 students in this class. So we have started from 50 to 100 because this is the spread of the data, 50 to 100. If you want the range is only 95 to 56, the spread is 50 to 100. We call the spread like this, but the actual range is maximum minus minimum. You see the dots. The minimum mark is 56, the maximum is 95. So the dots are actual marks scored by the student. There are 3 students scored 75. There are 3 more students scored 82, approximately 82. So these are the dots above this line are the actual scores of the students. This is called a dot diagram. Actually the mode, there are dual mode here, double model here. One is 75, another is 82 are the modes. If you want to calculate the mean means, you must add everything, add all the scores, divide by 20. Okay, make dot plots of a population data. Percentage of population of over 65 years of age in the 50 states of US. So the x-axis is the number of percentage of nearest number of percentage of people 65 and above in the state. State number 1, state number 2, state number 3. There are 50 states. There are 50 dots are here. 50 counts are here. 50 counts. So the mode, if you look at the mode here, the curve is like this here. If you look at the shape of the curve here, if you look at the shape of the curve is like this. You see that? This is called the shape of the curve. The shape of the curve. So it is the shape of the curve is a mode, it's a peak, one single peak here. Okay? How to describe it? Symmetric. When the left and right side of a distribution are mirror image of one another is called symmetric. Fairly symmetric means when both sides are almost mirror images, but there are some small exceptions are there. Still we call fairly symmetric. Skewed left, negatively skewed. If a distribution extends much faster out on the left side, and the left side is longer, maybe we will see visually later. The direction of skewness is on the side of the longer tile. We call it as left. Positively skewed is called right skewed. If the distribution is more longer, further out on to the right. How it looks? Symmetry will be looking like this. Symmetrical data will be looking like this. This is negatively skewed. See here, left skewed. Left side is more tile. More data on the right side. Positively skewed. More data on the right side. Left is a tile. It's a positively skewed. It's an example here. See here. This is an example of a women's soccer team in 2004. Number of goals scored per game. If you look at the shape, is it positively skewed or negatively skewed? This one is a positively skewed. Okay, mean median, how they will be in a dot plot. You have drawn the line that connects the dot plot points on the top of the distribution. Just now we have drawn some curves. The line clearly shows right or left skewed. Easily we can identify. If we have right skewed, the mean will be to the right of the greater than the median. If it is right skewed, the mean will be on the right side. Median will be on the left side. If it is right skewed, that means positively skewed. positively skewed, mean will be on the right side. If the mean is on the right, it is called right skewed or positively skewed. If the mean is on the left side, if the mean is on the left side, the median is on the right side. If the mean is on the left side, it is called left skewed. It's called negatively skewed. We call it as left skewed or negatively skewed. Right skewed is called positively skewed. Left skewed is called negatively skewed. If it is negative skewed means mean will be on the left. Positive skewed means mean will be on the right. Single modal, unimodal means only one mode. It will be like this, one peak. Bimodal, you can see two peaks are here. This is three or more peaks. How to describe it? There are some possibilities for potential outliers. Outlier means it lies extreme of the data. It may be on the left side, on the right side. We will learn how to calculate the actual outliers later in another video. Now here outlier will be extremely at the end. For example, in the class, your test marks, all the students scored between 40 to 80. There is one student got only single digit, less than 10 marks, or one student got more than 95. So they are called outliers. Cluster. Cluster means there are some association of some values. Isolated groups, all clubbed together, clusters. The frequency will be more than 1 and then come back to frequency becomes 0. There may be some gaps. There is no student scored in between 60 and 70 in a class test. It may be possible. It's called a gap. You look at this diagram. In this diagram, you can see the outliers. See, these are the two outliers, 10 and 49. This is a cluster. You see here, cluster, but it's a big cluster actually. Within this there are many small clusters are there. You can see a group, the high peak, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. Then another one, after the 1 you have another 5. So there is a small clusters become a big cluster, and there is a gap. There is no data from 36 to 48. There's no data here under the fuel consumption for 2009 passengers on Fords. Okay, I hope you are able to understand some of the properties of a dot